Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Tonight's story is one you won't forget. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new real-life drama story. And stay until the very end, because this dinner party turns into absolute chaos. A dinner invitation for the mother-in-law and the mistress. Just let him go. You're a grown woman, you should understand. He needs a goddess, not some housewife who smells like fried food. He needs excitement. The glowing screen of Madison's phone mercilessly displayed the message from a contact named Tiffany. The tiny profile picture showed a plump-lipped blonde holding a sparkling cocktail glass, posing beside an enormous bouquet of roses. Madison reread the message twice. Then she smirked, feeling not pain, but a strange icy calmness. No tears, no trembling hands. 5 years of legal marriage had just been erased by a couple of arrogant sentences from some overconfident girl. For 5 years, Madison had carried the entire household on her shoulders. She paid all the utility bills for her spacious 3-bedroom condo, a place she had bought with incredible effort long before she ever met Ethan. For 5 years she planned vacations, saved every dollar she could. Meanwhile, Ethan focused on maintaining his status. In his mind, that status revolved around an old German luxury car that had stopped being luxurious a decade ago. The black 4-wheeled monster devoured gasoline by the gallon and constantly demanded repairs. The replacement parts cost a fortune. Her husband's modest paycheck disappeared into repair shops every single month. Another carburetor, new brake pads, leather seat restoration. And on top of that, Ethan demanded special treatment for his stomach. Fried food was absolutely forbidden. Dinner had to be strictly organic veal steamed to perfection. Madison slowly glanced toward the stove. There it was, the very same dietary veal, bubbling peacefully. For the future entrepreneur and visionary. Yeah, right. Her fingers quickly danced across the keyboard. You're absolutely right. There's no point hiding the truth anymore. Come tomorrow at exactly 7 p.m. I'll send the address below. You can pick up his belongings. We'll talk like civilized adults. The message instantly disappeared into cyberspace. Madison set the phone down on the counter. Her mind worked with astonishing clarity, carefully arranging every detail of the upcoming show. A perfect plan had formed in her head. Elegant, precise. A ceremonial transfer of responsibility. Her next call was to Patricia Monroe, her mother-in-law, a woman with an exceptionally complicated personality who had spent years expertly criticizing her daughter-in-law for not taking proper care of her precious baby boy. The baby boy had recently turned 38. Patricia, hi. Yes, everything's fine. No, Ethan's healthy, don't worry. You know what? Come over tomorrow around 7 for dinner. I have a huge surprise for you. It concerns your son's future. Yes, I promise. You're going to love it. The calculation was flawless. Her mother-in-law probably assumed Madison was finally pregnant. Or maybe Ethan had been promoted to CEO at his tiny office job. Patricia practically squealed with excitement over the phone, promising to bring her famous homemade pastries and arrive exactly on time. All that remained was informing the main guest of honor. That evening, Ethan stumbled into the apartment looking irritated with life as usual. The traffic was insane, and my baby's making noise in the rear suspension again. I need to take it to the shop ASAP, probably another $2,000. You understand, without my car I'm helpless. You think you can spot me until payday? Madison took his jacket and smiled sweetly. We'll see, Ethan. Tomorrow we're having a special dinner, a celebration. Be ready. Wear that nice blue shirt. Her husband smirked with satisfaction, rubbing his hands together. In Ethan's world, a celebration dinner meant expensive food and possibly a raise for his wife. Money that could safely be invested into repairing his beloved car. The entire next day flew by in pleasant anticipation. Madison deliberately refused to cook. Instead, she ordered delivery, baked trout, gourmet salads, a massive cheese board, and wine. Expensive wine, rich red wine, for herself. At 6:50 p.m., she critically examined herself in the mirror. The elegant black dress fit perfectly. Her hair was styled flawlessly. Ethan hovered nearby, nervously adjusting the collar of that very same blue shirt. The doorbell rang exactly on time. Madison opened the door. Standing there was the exact blonde from the photo. Lips carefully filled, eyelashes long enough to touch her eyebrows. The air instantly became heavy with suffocatingly sweet perfume. I'm Tiffany, the guest announced defiantly as she stepped inside like she was entering conquered territory. Come in, Tiffany. Straight down the hall. Madison gestured politely. The elevator doors clanged open on the landing. And here I am, Madison. I picked up such a beautiful cake. Patricia Monroe majestically stepped out carrying a bakery box, her face glowing with royal self-importance. Then she froze. Her eyes landed on the overdressed blonde standing in the doorway of her daughter-in-law's apartment. "Good evening, Patricia. Come in quickly. Everyone's already here. We were just waiting for you." Hearing voices, Ethan walked out of the living room. "Who's there, Mattis?" The words died in his throat. He froze like a stone statue. His eyes widened into saucers. His face instantly turned the color of spoiled cottage cheese. His hand instinctively jerked toward his collar as though an invisible noose had tightened around his neck. The scene was worthy of a masterpiece painting. The legal wife, the young mistress, and the domineering mother, all packed into one tiny hallway. Tiffany blinked her luxurious lash in confusion. "Ethan, who's this woman?" She nodded dismissively toward Patricia. Patricia puffed out her chest indignantly, nearly dropping the cake. "I'm his mother? And who exactly are you supposed to be?" "Ethan, what is going on here?" "Please," Madison said calmly, closing the front door behind them. "Everyone to the table. The food's getting cold." Ethan shuffled down the hallway on stiff wooden legs. He reached the living room and collapsed into a chair, staring blankly at an empty plate. Patricia sat across from him, clutching the cake box like a weapon. Tiffany settled beside Ethan and tried possessively grabbing his hand, but he yanked it away like he'd touched a burning pan. Madison slowly poured ruby red wine into her glass and took a tiny sip. "The taste of victory." "I suggest we skip the exhausting introductions," she said evenly, her voice edged with faint amusement. "Patricia, meet Tiffany, your son's new great love, and apparently his muse." Patricia gasped loudly. The cake tilted dangerously over the table. "Ethan, tell me this is some kind of sick joke. What muse? You're married." "Mom, well, I mean, you see ... double quotes," Ethan stammered miserably, cold sweat forming across his forehead. Madison turned her icy gaze toward the pale blonde. "Tiffany, this is Patricia Monroe, Ethan's mother, the most important woman in his life. You'll be seeing a lot of each other from now on." "I'm not planning on dealing with any elderly relatives," Tiffany scoffed, arrogantly lifting her chin. "Ethan and I are going to live for ourselves. He promised we'd fly to Bali next month, and his business is supposedly about to make millions." Madison burst into genuine laughter. "Business? A sales manager making 35 grand a year is called a businessman now. That's adorable." She set down her glass and leaned forward. "All right, ladies, listen carefully. I'm officially passing the baton. Tiffany, here are the operating instructions for your new man." The blonde frowned nervously, already sensing the trap. Patricia sat frozen with her mouth slightly open. Ethan loves steamed veal. Fried food destroys his pancreas. His shirts must be ironed only with a professional steamer. Regular irons leave shiny marks. The utility bills are now your responsibility. Groceries too. Ethan spends every cent of his paycheck on parts for that rusted bucket of bolts he calls a car. So congratulations, goddess. Financially supporting this genius is now entirely your responsibility. Tiffany's face visibly collapsed. The color drained from her cheeks. She whipped around toward Ethan. "Ethan, tell me this is a joke. You said the car was just a hobby. And this condo, you swore it belonged to you." Ethan shrank into his chair. "Well, technically it's kind of ours together. We're a family. We bought furniture together ... "You're deeply mistaken, sweetheart," Madison cut in coldly. "The condo is mine. Completely mine. You arrived here with one suitcase, and you'll leave with it." Patricia finally snapped out of her shock. Red blotches spread across her furious face. "Madison, how dare you throw my son out into the street?" Then she turned viciously toward Tiffany. "And you, homewrecker, can you even cook borscht? Can you make his steamed veal tomorrow?" Tiffany curled her overfilled lips in disgust. "What borscht? I wasn't born to cook. I thought we'd be eating at restaurants every night. Why would I need a broke man with a psycho mother? You shameless little brat." Patricia jumped to her feet, accidentally sending the cursed cake crashing onto the floor. Whipped cream splattered across the rug. "My Ethan is too good for you. He's a diamond." "Keep your diamond," Tiffany screeched hysterically, grabbing her purse. "This broke loser wasted my time." Ethan sat there with both hands covering his face. Successful man, mysterious investor, stylish charmer. His entire house of cards had collapsed directly into the seafood salad. Madison openly enjoyed every second of the unfolding disaster. Everything was going even better than she'd imagined. No tearful breakdowns. No humiliating pleas to stay. No painful division of useless junk accumulated over 5 miserable years. Just a direct collision between sweet lies and brutal reality. She gracefully stood from the table. "The show is over. Curtain call. Ethan, your gym bag is in the bedroom by the closet." I packed your things this afternoon. Tiffany, be a dear and help your man carry his luggage to the elevator. Patricia, since this lovely young couple clearly can't afford a rental apartment, they'll be staying with you temporarily. Surely you won't abandon your precious son and his new love. Your little one-bedroom apartment may be cramped, but as they say, close quarters, warm hearts. In my apartment, with this tramp. Ethan, say something. But Ethan only let out a miserable sigh and obediently shuffled toward the bedroom for his belongings. Tiffany stood frozen in the middle of the living room, blinking in disbelief. Her sugary fantasy life was crashing headfirst into reality. Reality that apparently involved moving in with an angry mother-in-law. Out, everyone. Madison walked to the front door and flung it wide open. Tiffany bolted out first like a bullet, muttering furious curses under her breath while desperately tapping at her phone to call a rideshare. Next came Ethan, dragging himself forward with a massive overstuffed bag hanging from his shoulder. He paused at the doorway and tried looking into Madison's eyes. Madison, maybe we should cool off and talk tomorrow. Goodbye, Ethan. She looked away indifferently. Patricia left last. She tried saying something devastating, waving her finger angrily in the air, but couldn't find the words. All she managed was an offended snort before storming toward the elevator. From the hallway came Tiffany's shrill screaming and the pathetic excuses of a failed businessman. Madison shut the door with satisfaction. No more ironing shirts every morning. No more endless searches for money to repair somebody else's scrap metal. No more suffocating lectures from her mother-in-law every weekend. My territory, my rules. She walked to the large hallway mirror, adjusted a loose strand of hair, and smiled sincerely at her reflection. A beautiful, confident, strong woman. She was only 35. Life was just beginning. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Tell us, did Madison handle the situation perfectly, or would you have done something differently? And make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss the next unbelievable real-life story.